All right, let's take a look at the warm-up for today. Orville and Wilbur Wright made the first airplane flights in 1903. Wilbur's flight was 412 feet. This was 160 feet longer than Orville's flight. How am I going to show 160 feet longer than Orville's flight? That's what I need to think about. Write and solve an equation to find the length of Orville's flight. So, this is what I'm thinking of. 160 feet. Longer means, am I adding or subtracting? Adding. 160 feet plus Orville's flight. I'm going to use B for brother. You could use X. Just don't use O. And that has to equal what? Wilbur's flight. And Wilbur's flight was 412 feet. Okay, now if I'm solving for B, what is the opposite of a positive 160? Negative 160. So subtract 160 from both sides, and you're left with the brother, which is Orville's flight, is 2, borrow from there, that's an 11, 5, 252 feet. So Orville's flight was 252 feet. All right, guys, we've been working on writing equations since 6th grade. Really got to try to narrow it down. This is not an equation. 412 minus 160 equals the brother's flight. That's not an equation. The variable has to be over here, and you're solving for the variable. All right. A pair of boots costs $185, but the pair is on sale today, 35% off. How much money will you save if you buy these shoes today? So I need to find out what 35% of 185 is. So I can just put that in my calculator just like that. Okay, so can I use that percent button? Do we know how to do that? Yes. So I can say, what is 35? The percent button is right above here in purple, so I've got to do second button, 35% of times $185. And I am going to save, if I save 35%, that's saving $64.75. So if that's what I'm going to save, how much am I going to pay? How do we figure out what we're going to pay? $185 minus what I'm going to save, and I get $120.85. So $185 minus $64.75, and I get $120.25. How do you think I would check to make sure that I have the right answer? That I didn't make an error with my calculator when I was subtracting? What do you think? Isla, what would you do? You would what? Add? That's what I did. I added these two up, and what should I get if I add those two up? The amount I paid and the amount I saved should equal $185. So I said $120.25 plus $64.75, and you should get $185. All right, the last one. A shark can swim at an average speed of 28 miles per hour. At this rate, how far can a shark swim in 3.6 hours? So, set up a proportion 28 miles in 1 hour equals how many miles in 3.6 hours? What's the important part here? When we were first learning this, what did I tell you to make sure you did? You have to write units with each thing. Miles has to go with miles, and hour has to go with hours. Now what can I do from here? I could multiply this way and say that 1 times 3.6 is 3.6. So then I would have to multiply this by 3.6. And I would get, so 100.28 times 3.6. 108/10 of a mile. Or what I saw a lot of people do was cross multiply. And I get 100.8. And 100.8 divided by 1 is 100.8. So the answer is 100.8 miles in 3.6 hours. All right, any questions on that warm-up? All right, let's look at homework from last night. All right, Unit 2, expressions and equations. Choose the best answer. Number 1, which phrase represents the expression 8x plus 5? What do you think the correct answer is for 8x plus 5? Patty? Which one? D. D, yes, a number multiplied by 8. This is a number multiplied by 8 and then added to 5. So D is the correct answer. Number 2, which expression is equivalent to 7x plus 4x squared minus 5x? So we've got to combine some like terms here. (7x plus 4x squared minus 5x). What are the like terms that we can combine? 7x. So 7x and negative 5x. Why is this not the same? Because those are x squared. So this would literally be 7 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It would be 5 negative x's. And it would be 4 x squareds. So these are nothing like those. Would you agree? Yes. So we can't combine those. If I cross off 0 pairs, what am I left with? 2 x's plus 4x squared. So which one looks like the correct answer? B. B is the correct answer. All right, any questions about that one? All right, let's go to 3. What is the value of y? So there's a couple of different ways to solve this problem. Anybody want to tell me how you tried this problem? So I could either solve for the variable, or I could use substitution, and I could take each one of these numbers and put them in and see which one of these makes it true. Did you use substitution, or did you solve for y? You used substitution, so I could say 2 times, if I'm going to try this, 60. 2 times 60 is 120 plus 15. Okay, so that's 135. Does that equal, what's 4 times 60? Minus 45. 195. Does 135 equal 195? No. Let's try B. Negative 30. So what is 2 times negative 30 plus 15? Okay. Now try 4 times negative 30 minus 45. Okay. So is B our answer? No. All right, everybody should be trying these. C. What is 2 times 30 plus 15? All right. And now try 4 times 30 minus 45. What is that one? 75. Does 75 equal 75? Yes. Looks like that one's going to be the answer. Should I check D? Yes. 2 times what? Negative 10 plus 15. And 4 times negative 10 minus 45. What is it? Negative 85. So which one looks like the correct answer? C. It is C. For Y. Do you want me to show you how to do it that way in case you don't want to do that? Okay, so let's look at how we're going to solve for Y. All right. So it's 2Y plus 15 equals 4Y minus 45. All right, so what's the problem with this? Why does it look different than what we normally solve easily? We've done some like this. What do you think the problem is, Malachi? So it's this sign that's got you?
No, but
I think that the problem is that there's variable on both sides and there's a constant on both sides, and you're not used to that. You're used to this, but then you would think you normally just would have a constant over here. I think it's because there's a variable on both sides that it's got you. Okay, so this is really a two-step problem. So I've got to get all the variables on one side and all the constants on another. And I think that I'm going to move the variable that way. Why do you think I want to take that variable and go that way? Because when I do that, I'm going to end up with a positive variable. If I moved this and moved it that way, I'm going to end up with a negative 2y. And I don't think I want to end up with a negative 2y. I think I'd rather end up with a positive y. So I can move this way. This, I get a zero pair. So I'm left with 15 equals what? 2y minus 45. Now, this looks more like what we're used to. Do you understand how we did that? We took two y's from both sides. So now we don't have any y's over here, and we're down to two y's. Now what do I do? Now we're just at a standard two-step equation. So I want the y by itself, so I need to get rid of the negative 45. What's the opposite of subtracting 45? Add 45. So 15 plus 45 is 60 equals 2y, and this went away. Now what do I do? Now I'm at a one-step equation. Divide both sides by 2. And you're left with y equals 30. Y equals 30. Which is exactly what we figured out when we used substitution. Y equals 30. So what we had to do was make sure that we just had a y on one side. If I had done it the other way, I still would have gotten 30. If I'd have moved it this way, I'd have had a negative 2y and a negative 60, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So I still would have gotten the same answer. So the thing is, you just had to move both things. You had to move this way, and I had to move this way. All right? Okay. Number 4, which shows the solution to the inequality 6 times x minus 2 plus 21 is less than 39. So I've got to solve this. I need to use what to solve this? 6 times x minus 2 plus 21 is less than 39. So, is there anything I can do inside this parentheses? No. That's simplified. Now I have multiplication and I have addition. Which one do I do next? Multiplication. And it's 6 times both of these. So what property do I need to use? Distributive. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. Plus 21 is less than 39. Now I need to combine like terms. So negative 12 plus 21. What do I get? Okay, 6x. Is that negative 6? That's what I was thinking. Negative 12 plus 21 is positive 9. Plus 9 is less than 39. Now what? Now I've got a 2-step inequality. Is there any more terms that I can combine over here? No. So I need the x by itself. What do I do? Subtract 9 from both sides. I feel like we need to do a lot of 2-step equations over the next week. Six x is less than 30. Now what? Divide both sides by, and x is less than 5. X is any number that is less than 5. So our answer is A. Oh, that one was super fun, right? Solve for y plus 4 2/10 equals negative 6 6/10. Anybody know what the answer is? What do you think, Hattie? You think it's B? All right. I don't think so at first glance. Anybody else have another idea what they think it is? Cameron? I feel like it's going to be A, but let's take a look at it. Y plus 4 2/10 equals negative 6 6/10. This is a 1-step equation. The y needs to be by itself. That means I need to do the opposite of adding 4 2/10, which is subtracting 4 2/10 from both sides. And I'm left with y, that goes away, equals, if I'm not sure about the rule and I can use a calculator, I can do negative 6 6/10 minus 4 2/10. And you should get 8, bring my decimal down, 10. Those are both negative, so my answer is negative. Y equals negative 10 8/10. Yes? Why? You did negative 6 6/10 minus 4 2/10. Or did you do plus and negative? Why would you add it? It says subtract. Over here we subtracted 4 2/10. So over here we subtract 4 2/10. It doesn't say to add a negative. Yes?
I was trying to get one. I got the answer right, but all I did was add them, and then I saw that there was a negative, so
Okay. So this literally means I am at over there on the number line between negative 6 and negative 7. I'm at negative 6 6/10. I am going to move 4 and a little more in the negative direction. That literally means I've got to be down there on the other side of negative 10. You've got to think back to the rules that you know. This literally means, on a calculator, negative 6 6/10 minus 4 2/10. Okay, so if you're not sure, use the exact signs that you see. All right, A. Which expression is equivalent to 7m minus 4 plus 5m minus 1 minus 4m? What do you think, Eiley? Okay, well, let's take a look. I'm not sure. So it's 7m minus 4 plus 5m minus 1 minus 4m. So I've got to combine like terms. So I've got 7m's plus 5m's. What am I up to? 12m's. And now minus 4m's. That is 8m's. Negative 4 and a negative 1. Negative 5. 8m minus 5. Yes, B is the correct answer. All right, number 7. I think this one is a little bit tricky. What equation is equivalent to 1/5 x minus 3 equals 2/3? So I'm looking for one that is equivalent to this one. All right, so how can I solve this equation? Let's see, I need another sheet of paper. All right, we have 1/5 x minus 3 equals 2/3. So the first thing I need to do is add 3 to both sides. And I get 1/5 times x, that goes away, equals 3 2/3. This is multiplying by 1/5. What's the opposite of multiplying by 1/5? Divide by 1/5. Divide by 1/5. So x equals 3 2/3 divided by 1/5. I get 18 1/3. So now I need to go through and I need to solve these other problems and find another one where the x equals 18 1/3. Okay, so let's do A. 5x minus 45 equals 3. What do I do first? Add 45 to both sides. And you're left with 5x equals 48. Divide by 5, divide by 5. And you have x equals 48 divided by 5. 9 6/10. So could A be the correct answer? Nope. Now do the same thing with B. 3x minus 15 equals 10. Add 15 to both sides. I'm positive that I'm not sure I saw anybody with all this work and the correct answers, but I see a lot of you sitting around like you're at the movies, just watching a show. Not sure that's the way that works. 25 divided by 3. 8 3/10. Is that going to be the correct answer? Nope. So now I need to do C. (3x minus 45 equals 10). Add 45 to both sides. And I'm left with 3x. That's a 0 pair equals 55. Ooh, I feel like this one might be closer. And I'm left with x equals 55 divided by 3. 18 1/3. 0.3 repeating is the same thing as 18 1/3. Can we change that and make sure? So the second button and this fraction to decimal, 18 1/3. So our answer is C. Is there anyone that did that one right? That one was a harder problem, right? All right. Solve. Number 8. Solve 6 over 25 times x equals 9/10. So 6/25 times x equals 9/10. What's the opposite of multiplying? Divide. So divide this by 6 over 25. Divide this over 6 by 25. Thank you. And we get 9/10 divided by 6/25. And the answer is 3 3/4. Let's change that to a decimal to check. And it is B. Do y'all realize like 3 years ago, my students in 7th grade didn't get to use calculators? They had to manually work out all these problems. You all are over here looking like your cat ate your canary and you get to use calculators. I don't know what the problem is. All right. Which shows the solution to the inequality negative 2x is greater than 18. Remember the rules for inequalities. What is the opposite of multiplying by negative 2? Divide by negative 2. And when I divide or multiply by a negative number, I need to flip the sign. X is less than negative 9. Your answer is B. X is less than negative 9. I have to remember if you multiply or divide by a negative inequality, you must flip the sign. All right, 10. Members of a video game platform, Xbox Live, pay $2 per download plus a one-time membership fee. Non-members pay $20 per download. How many games would a member have to download to save money compared to downloading games as a non-member? So, if you're wanting to save money, that means you want to pay less than, right? If you want to save money, you pay less than. So, we want to set up an equation. It's a $50 membership fee plus $2 per download. When is that going to be less than $20 per download? So I need to get my variables all on one side. Do I want to move the 20 this way, the 20D, or the 2D that way? Let's move the 2D. So subtract. So $50 is less than $18 a download. Divide by 18, divide by 18. And the downloads, 50 divided by 18 equals 2.7 downloads. So, how many games would a member have to download to save? Would it be 2? It's not 2 because we've got to round up, so it would be 3 games. 3 games to save. All right, any questions on this? No. All right, so what do you need to be working on? You should have picked up the Unit 3, Ratios and Proportional Relationships. There's 10 problems. That's due by tomorrow. You make sure right here this says 2 ounces of yellow paint. You need to make sure you add a T. It's in the bin back there. That's yellow paint, not yellow pain. I don't know that pain has ever been a color. Make sure you add a T. You need to, I don't think I gave you any new IXL assignments. Let's take a look. So yesterday, IXL R2, R7, and R6 were due. Today, R9, R10, and R12. So that's 2 different grades. You need to make sure that you've got all that done by the end of the day. And I'm going to give you back your Unit 6 test if you've already taken it and it's graded. And you can start working on corrections. You can work on those together. So manage your time the way you want to. You have until next, let's say next Thursday, to return your tests corrected if you would like to. All right, any questions? There are correction sheets